And welcome back. It's time for us to go through the big stories of the day as we get into our newspaper review. Starting off with the People Daily front page. There it is. In bold letters, why Sossion is in deep trouble. As you can see the picture of a really pensive man.
He looks stressed.
Yes, teachers union boss in a fight of his life as top officials plot to oust him amid reports that only 9 out of 38 NEC members are on his side. And it's been an issue that he's been fighting for quite a while. This isn't the first time that it came up. When he was nominated to Parliament, very many people started asking, how can you retain your union seat
and still be an MP?
And be a nominated MP as well. You need to relinquish one. He managed to, douse that fire for a while. But now it seems like from the reports that we're getting, and of course this is a story that you can get on page 4 of your People Daily, seems like he's been making very many unilateral decisions, very authoritarian in what he's doing there, not consulting, people from the union. And they're saying because of that particular stance that he's taking, he's lost popularity with the people that he represents. In my opinion, I think it's also, he's been backed up to a corner. And it's the same with a lion or even a cat. When you back it to a corner, what does it do? It will fight back, and it will fight back fiercely. So for him, he's been attacked, left, right, and center, and he's thinking, because in my opinion, I think some of these guys are actually jealous that he was nominated as an MP. So that means more revenue for him, more income, and so on and so forth. So they're thinking, why are you eating from every direction? Wachia wengine, which I think is unfortunate. If the guy has been a teacher for all this while and he can do his job, I don't see why he shouldn't hold multiple positions. And that's why actually the TSC just the other day fired him through the court, because they tried firing him, but they couldn't get rid of him because he went to court. Then eventually the court upheld and he had to leave. But I just think it's unfortunate that he's been attacked for doing his job really, really well, and that is what got him to Parliament in the first place. Another issue that probably is coming up, and some people are saying that this might be now beneath the surface of what we are seeing. His hardline stance as far as their dealings with government is concerned. Because at the end of the day, there's only so far you can push government. Of course. And probably this is now the result of them pushing back. And they say that there's no way you can fight the government and win. So for him, in that case, because he was really he was a really strong opposition, even while just at NAT before he became an MP. And now that he went in there, so come and be a boss. If you think you can push us, we can also push back. And you know what? We know where to pinch. And now they're pinching. And as you can see on that front page, clearly a man who, in Mbuvi's words, has been pinched. A good one. A good one right there on the front page of your People Daily. Also, as we get deeper into the People Daily newspaper, page 4 of the PD, Lusaka calls for sobriety in legislation, has urged MCAs to carry out oversight role of the county executives with caution, not to ground operations of the devolved units. Now, this is something that you've seen. I mean, it's been in display and it has been played over and over again in different counties, where MCAs can literally hold the governor ransom until they get what they want. Ground county activities until they get what they want. And if you don't do that, you could also be impeached as a governor. It happened in Makueni before, in the first, what is it called? The first time that we had governors, rather. It has happened in Kitui, and in Kitui it's actually very, very, very bad right now. Taita Taveta, Governor Saboja had actually said that he just wants it scrapped. He's done with this county government. People have tried to mediate, they want Laila to get in and mediate there as well. I think now the Senate Speaker also coming in just to weigh in and try to ask for people to calm down as they play their various roles in government. And unfortunately, this is what we were asking for. We just need to give it more time before we understand how devolution is supposed to work. And that, I think, even for the governors, they're battling with the same problem. But for us as the citizens, we're watching from afar, thinking, guys, we need you guys to come to an understanding and just make things work for us. But now, as it is, we're trying to see the governor who's trying to hold all the power, and the MCAs telling him, by the way, boss, you might be having the title boss, but we know who's the real boss. This is exactly what is happening. And from when this was being mooted and they put it in the constitution and we decided to go the devolution route, the whole sharing of power between governors and MCAs was supposed to be a check and balance type of situation, so that nobody really walks away saying they want to do this and they do it unilaterally. But now it almost seems like, in hindsight, we created a monster that we now don't know how to tame. And that's what I'm saying right now. At the end of the day, sisi wa Kenya ndio tunaumia. The kawaida citizen is the one who's going to umia, because at the end of the day, those guys will battle it up there, and then when they start settling their own, through their own methods, wanasikiza na kivyao, and sisi ndio tunabaki hapa hivi trying to what exactly happened. So 5 years later, development hasn't taken off, and then now we're being told, now to settle the story,
we can still do this for you and this, more promises that will still not materialize, even if we elect, re-elect these guys.
Right. And of course, that's a story that you get as well on page 4 of your PD. Page 5, I mean, a win for Kenya as far as Africa's vote to seek the UN seat is concerned. They did a lot of lobbying at the Africa Union right there, and of course expressed their wishes to get that non-permanent seat. And in a vote yesterday, they garnered 37 votes against Djibouti's 13. And this went in the second round of voting, and of course that means they're a step closer as far as getting that seat for 2021-2022 is concerned. But that means now they have to battle it out at a continental level, because they'll be representing the eastern part of Africa, but there's West Africa, there's the southern region as well. So the lobbying continues, and of course Monica Juma's work, CS Foreign Affairs, is really cut out for her.
And if Kenya, gets that particular position, we'll have veto powers on very crucial, input in various laws that govern the security of the world. And I think this is a good step. I'm thinking we might actually just get it. Yeah, I think we might just get it, because our politicians, as much as they have their own internal wrangles here when it comes to lobbying, I mean, they do it really well. You remember the shuttle diplomacy at one point that never really worked out? I think they have what it takes to take this particular situation.
We'll see how this one goes, because the last time they really lobbied hard for now sports CS to be AU chairperson. That didn't go their way, so I think this is probably second time the charm for them. Let's see if they can manage to win the continent to their side.
We have proven that we have the muscle, so yeah, I think we can.
Okay, we shall see how we fare against the rest of the continent right there. Page 6 of the PD, Kimemia fires 4 ministers at midnight. High drama in Nyandarua County. In a move that caught many by surprise, he sacked 4 members of his cabinet, sending many shockwaves across his administration. And as this happens, of course, many observers wondering whether this needs to be what someone should be doing as they steady the ship for 2022, or is there another agenda at play as Governor Kimemia makes such a move?
Let's look at it from a governance point of view. Maybe the reason why he's doing all this is because he's trying to avoid all the dramas we're seeing with the other, county governments. Case in point, look at Waititu. And the troubles that he's facing in court because of the corruption dealings that are been mentioned in his office. So you can imagine, even for Kimemia, he sat down and said, you know what, if they can do that to my colleagues, they can definitely do this to me, and I just need to put my foot down and start putting people in check rather. So I'm not going to speculate. I'm just saying that I think this is from a governance point of view. He's just trying to make sure that he's covering all his bases.
Right. And that's a story that you can get as well in your copy of the PD right there. We'll move on now from the PD to the Daily Nation. Front page of the Daily Nation takes a political angle on that particular front. It's all about the BBI and what it's going to portend moving forward. On front page of the Daily Nation, Uhuru Raila planned tour to rally support for BBI draft. In the political deal they're talking about in the Daily Nation, seeking to fulfill their promise of enhancing peaceful coexistence in the country, the two leaders will help Kenyans understand the direction the country is likely to take. From the onset, very many people talking about this particular draft and the team that was put together going around the country as a two-man initiative, because this was apparently mooted when they had their handshake.
Exactly.
We don't know what else was discussed there. We know the 9 points that the BBI team was going around talking about, but other than that, it seems like it's because of these two that we're having this.
The BBI, Building Bridges Initiative, is very simply put another Nusumkate government, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, it looks like everyone else has been sidelined. You can even hear MPs from both sides of the divide trying to say that, everything is okay. Others saying, no, kumewaka moto, and so on and so forth. Others saying that, the DP has been sidelined, and so on and so forth. So I just think this is another Nusumkate government that Raila just found his way into, and there's nothing anyone else can do about it. So I don't know. Let's just wait and see if the delivery will be done, because at the end of the day, I do not care whether you got into power by Nusumkate, or you got into power by demonstration, or you got into power, as long as things work for the normal Mwananchi, then it's fine. Right.
And even as you look at this, because like you said, very many people wondering how this one is going to play out. If it actually gets to the referendum, do you think this is going to represent the people, or is it a political question that's going to be
it's purely political, 150% political, because again, we know what they're trying to do at the referendum stage, and I think it's just a few individuals trying to be selfish. They might try and sugarcoat it however they want to do it, tell us it's for our own benefit, but at the end of the day, I can assure you, It's just a few people trying to take care of their own agendas. Yeah.
And that makes for the front page of your Daily Nation right there, front and center, what's going on. Also, as far as the teachers is concerned, a different story for them this time round. A big win for them as their medical cover is enhanced. As you can see the details right there. It's been increased. Inpatient cover to cover between 750,000 and 2.5 million Kenya shillings. Optical services now 45,000, up from 10,000 and 25,000. The dental cover raised as well to 35,000 from 10,000, and maternity cover now 100,000 to 200,000 Kenya shillings. You look at that package, and it's not too bad actually when you think about what needs to be covered.
What do you mean it's not too bad? It's absolutely amazing. 200,000 for their maternity cover. That's awesome. Because even in the corporate world, we don't get necessarily people getting that much.
100,000 max.
Yeah, that's the max. And you can imagine if you go to one of the high-end hospitals in Nairobi, just to have that maternity, taken care of, you'll spend up to even 150, 170, depending on the services that were offered on that particular day. So 200 is absolutely amazing. For their dental cover, I mean, we need our teachers to look good while they're smiling. So taki mwalimu wako na shimo kwa meno anakusmile, you're focusing on the teeth rather than focusing on your education. So I think that's a very good thing for them to have considered.
Right. Especially like you've mentioned, the increase in optical and dental covers in their package is something really, commendable to them, because even from other private schemes, that's where they usually get probably 10,000 is almost what you get for both.
Actually, I think even for the optical, it's about 20 Gs. Yeah, so that's a very nice increment.
So definitely a step in the right direction as far as our teachers are concerned, and that's a story that you can get on the back page of the Daily Nation. Also a story that the headlines broke yesterday, and very many people reacted because they felt this had targeted them personally. And this is coming from the Interior CS and the Interior Ministry. Forget the bar, it's time for all to get counted. The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics works to convince Kenyans to take part in census, and the Interior Ministry orders bars to close on Saturday. That is not a request.
It's a good idea, but I'm thinking if you want to get people in their homes, get people in their... Because some of these people make money only during the weekends, especially the bars. There's a big game coming up over the weekend, Liverpool, and I can't remember which other team. I mean, that's a big game between two big teams. And a lot of these clubs make money just by having people going to watch the games there. So I don't know why. It didn't happen before, so I don't know why it's happening right now. People are saying that it's because, when you're drunk, you might not give the proper information. But I'm thinking, at the end of the day, if you're asking me things about myself, I know. Yeah, so regardless of where you find me, whether you find me at the bar or in the hospital, I'll still give you legit information. So I don't know.
Well, even with your explanation, Mbuvi, I'm sorry, on Saturday you shall be home. That's the long and short of it. As far as Matiang'i is concerned, not unless you go and book yourself in a hotel or a lodging somewhere.
I'll be attending Aurora show, which was planned months ago. So
don't worry, they'll find you there. They'll count you.
Now they'll find me there dancing. And then I'll give them the information they need.
Quite a touchy topic. This one, of course, that came through, and of course, you could see how very many Kenyans had a lot to say about this particular ban as far as Saturday going into Sunday, banning of bar activity was concerned. But it is what it is. Once the Interior Ministry has spoken, you'll all have to toe the line.
I'm just feeling for the bar owners. They will lose lots and lots of money because guys will not go and watch while enjoying their favorite drink.
Right. And that's a story that you can get on page 5 of your Daily Nation. Also on the front page of the Daily Nation, they're still also touching on Kenya's, poising themselves to win the UN Security Council seat with the vote that happened yesterday. That's a detail that you can get in your copy of your Daily Nation as well. Inside the Daily Nation, interesting story on page 3. Kadzora, rodent delicacy that has many salivating. Now, these particular breed of rats, which are not the same as those found in houses, let you think it's the same, are unique and in plenty during harvest time, and that's what they eat to their heart's delight, especially in Malindi. You can find a lot of them there. So if you're in that particular area and you're given a piece of meat on a skewer, and you probably
think it could be a rat.
It could be. And then you taste it, you wouldn't know the difference.
I know sorry, I know big rats are usually called buku. Yeah, so and in the coastal region they have like really large rats. So you can imagine they found use for them, and I have no problem with them cooking rats, because you know what, rats actually are edible. If you look at their anatomy, they have the same things that a rabbit has. So if they found a delicacy in them, we're looking at food security. that's another way to make sure that people are well fed.
I think you should probably try that on Alfajiri Kitchen.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should. People should tell us if we can do that. Yeah, and also they also like eating, because this is a coast, they like eating octopus and so on and so forth. We even have guys in Kibera harvesting what they call cockroaches.
Right.
Yeah, so instead of, you know, spraying pesticide to kill these animals, why don't we make them into a delicacy and actually eat? We have farmers right here in the country, if I'm not wrong, somewhere around Mount Kenya region, or could be Western, I can't remember really, but they're harvesting you know, cockroaches in plenty and actually making cookies out of them, mixing them in flour and baking cookies.
Cookie cockroaches?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they provide very good nutrients in terms of protein.
That is definitely a first. I'll actually look for those ones.
Yeah.
You need to bring them on the show.
We should.
Okay, and of course, plenty more. But also another story that's on the front page of the Daily Nation. Keroche boss in trouble over tax claim. The DPP, Nordin Haji, wants the brewer's chief executive officer and her husband charged with failing to pay taxes amounting to 14 billion Kenya shillings. Of course, this doing with excise duty in terms of their production. And she's spoken on this as well, talking about the fact that she wasn't given any notice on this. There's a letter that has gone round due to how she was treated when she went to the KRA, and she was asked several questions as to what was going on. And the questioning went on for a couple of hours, and she realized this is being done irregularly. There's no official process being followed right here. And she says that this is a systematic way to ruin local investors and local entrepreneurs instead of giving them a firm foundation to move forward.
She recently launched a new brand of beer and a couple of more wines and spirits as well. So someone could look at it from a point where maybe she's been attacked in terms of competition. Maybe someone on the other side of the competition is trying to, you know, pull her down. So I'm just thinking that even for her, she's making a business move in the allegations that she's making, because at the end of the day, you have to protect your bread and butter. And remember, she's running a multi-billion company. So, I mean, you have to fight tooth and nail to make sure that, you know, you protect your interests.
Right. But she says that the matter that's in dispute right now is actually at the Tax Arbitration Tribunal as we speak. So it's in public record. We know what's going on, and she can't understand where all of these other charges are coming in from.
Right.
Because once the tribunal has settled the case and given the way forward, then both parties have to, just follow that particular directive.
Exactly.
So she says she hasn't been served any papers. She's not about to present herself to any police station, because all she has seen is in social media. Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, there are so many things before you even appear in a court of law. There's someone who cannot just tell you that there's a case in court and you just appear. No, they have to serve you with a notice to show cause, of which you need to respond. Then now you can go to court. So if she wasn't served with any of those, and she's also trying to play safe, even going for the interrogation and so on and so forth. She's trying to play safe because at the end of the day, hutaki kuonyesha kichwa ngumu pia, because once you show that kichwa ngumu, even when you get to the court stages, that can come up and it can really put you in trouble. Right. And let's not forget, even as she said that, the DC had camped at Keroche breweries for the better part of yesterday and into the evening as well. And it's a story that we're following as well to see what happens next as far as that case is concerned. We'll now move on to the Standard. Front page of the Standard, Kenyans return 25 billion shilling hidden in old bank notes. A government order on currency, new currency rather, during the Madaraka Day celebrations has seen billions outside the banking system resurface in the month of June alone. Wow. So this was the amount of money just resurface. Yeah. Because resurface means it wasn't there even in circulation, then suddenly it's there. These were mattress accounts. Yeah. Now people have realized you can't use this money, let's just take it to the bank and exchange it. Right. If you visit a lot of these prominent personalities and they need to pay you, sometimes they don't do these checks, they don't do money transfers via, wire transfers. They give you hard cash, and you'll see someone going upstairs into a random room and coming with, like hard cash. Sometimes you're even paid and you wonder whether, it's real currency. Right. It could be, fake notes. So you can imagine if that money has surfaced somewhere, someone was just keeping 25 billion away from circulation. So that means even for us as Kenyans, your pesa ilikuwa tulikuwa tumenyimwa mali. You don't have enough change. You don't have money in circulation for just normal business transactions. So you can imagine what that has done to the economy. I think it's a really nice boost. Right. Probably we should have done this earlier. And of course, you can get the details of that right there. Also, in the Standard, no soccer CS orders bars closed at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Like we said, for all of those Liverpool or Arsenal fans, you'll have to watch the game at home. That's just...
What Saidika, in my opinion, are guys who run wines and spirits businesses or even alcohol delivery businesses, because now
people have to stock up.
Because if we can't go to my favorite club to watch, you know, that game, I'll just have to dial a delivery and have, you know, that alcohol delivered. So this is a very, I don't know, this weekend, people are going to go make losses. And assuming the entire Saturday you didn't go to the bar or to your, you know, joint, and the guys for, you know, census didn't come to your house and you're thinking, I just wasted my day. Nimekaa hapa nikingoja watu wakuje kunihesabu, hawajakuja. Yeah.
And the story that you can get, of course, in detail in your copy of your Standard. Finally, we'll wrap it up with the Star. Front page of the Star, talking about relationship matters on the front page. How Kitani gave Linturi millions. She loved his 3 children, took blended family on extravagant holidays, and it started as a fling and blossomed into a costly marriage. That's the headline that you're getting right there. And it's a relationship really turned ugly. Even as yesterday, we were watching live, you know, from the courtrooms as Kitani explained what happened, how she built a house for Linturi's parents.
Apparently it cost about 26 million, was it 30 million?
Yeah, I think it was 3 million.
Yeah, there's one that where she renovated the Meru home for about, I don't know, 30 million. And I'm just, again, I said, I was looking at the figures that were being mentioned, and I was utterly shocked. The amount of money that has just been spent on luxury alone, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And they own companies together, so I don't know what how that is going to pan out in terms of now separation. Another thing that I'm also feeling bad for is the fact that all this is in public. There are 6 kids, you know, being dragged around in all this nonsense. I mean, it's really bad, because I've been through a divorce before, and I can tell you for sure, it is nothing to smile about.
Even behind closed doors.
Even behind closed doors.
You can imagine when all the cameras are there and everybody is in your business watching what was happening, and you recounting how you met and how things have gotten to where they are.
And I'm looking at even guys, you know, attacking Linturi, saying that, you know, he's the man in the relationship and he did not, you know, he wasn't the provider, he was actually being kept. The amount of attack, I can't even imagine the psychological problems and issues these guys are going through. So for me, I don't want to be part of their problem, so I'm keeping off that conversation.
Right, but it's a story that the Star clearly isn't keeping off. You can get all the details because it's a lead story in your copy of the Star this morning, and that's why we're going to wrap up a newspaper review at this particular point in time. But Mbuvi, thank you for taking us through the dailies.
Thank you for you know, inviting me to sit on this side. What to people daily? Maybe you need to give me a column.
Yes, that's how columns begin, by starting right there. We're going to take a short break. We're back on the other side. It's all about rising and shining. How do you navigate and position yourself for a salary increase? It's a really dicey situation. How do you navigate about that particular one? We discuss that after the break right here on Alpha G.